And we're live. And we're back here with another Don Tesla podcast. And I'm Manuel, and we got Getz and Will here again. And first thing first, I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers and grandfathers out there. And yeah, so let's get back in business. So you guys know the NBA is coming back not July 31st, but July 30th now. And they have 113-page rules what to do and what not to do. And they have like all these rules, like they have a hotel players only lounge where they get gaming, pools, NBA 2K, TVs, barbers, manicures, pedicures. They get daily entertainment, movie screenings, DJ sets, ping pong, lawn games. They have rules for ping pong. And like they already have the setup Disney hotels. The Disney hotels are set by seating, so like they have all the bad teams in the yacht club, decent teams in the Grand Floridian, and good teams in the Grand Destino. But let's get right to the most important topic. The NBA is thinking about sitting out for the playoffs, like Kyrie, Irving, Avery Bradley, Dwight Howard. Those are the main people who are talking. Most people think about sitting out because of the whole entire like being in the bubble in Orlando, and most people are sitting out because of the Black Lives Matters movement. So what do you guys think about that?
Was Dwight Howard because of BLM, or was he?
I'm pretty sure it's because of BLM.
Well, I understand how hard it is that they're gonna have to be separated from their family as long as their playoff run continues, and it's gonna be tough for them. But I think the best way maybe to use your platform, if you're gonna do it for like some sort of social issue, might be to play. And with Kyrie Irving, it just kind of seems like an excuse because they don't really have a chance this year.
Well, Kyrie Irving did go on the record saying, "I don't support going to Orlando. I'm not with the systematic racism and the BS. Something smells a little fishy."
What's he talking about? The systematic racism of the NBA?
Yeah. How like the NBA just decided to come back like right now when the Black Lives Movement is happening right now.
Well, I think Kyrie probably thinks he's a lot smarter than he actually is, but I think the best move would be for him to come back and play, and these are some of the most exceptional black athletes in the world.
Also, Kyrie also went on record saying, "I believe I'm the Martin Luther King of basketball." You think he is the Martin Luther King of basketball?
Man, your mic's like bugging a little bit.
He's not the anything of basketball. He's like, I don't even know what the comparison is, but that's a little high praise. I haven't seen him do anything.
Yeah,
I've seen LeBron give back to his community more.
Yeah. I feel like Kyrie Irving's gotta be on something because he just been like saying like stuff like the earth is flat and now all this. And I feel like maybe Kyrie Irving's trying to convince the whole entire league to sit out to just ruin LeBron's chance of getting another ring.
I believe it, man. I think he's jealous because he came off worse in that breakup, but
yeah. Well, what's your thoughts on this?
I don't really know. Like, they should just play. They should just play out the season in July. I just don't see.
I just feel like if the players want to sit out, like they can just replace them. Like if Dwight Howard wants to sit out, they can just replace Dwight Howard with DeMarcus Cousins, and like you have all these free agent players who's just have a chance with a team. They can just replace them.
But if it's most of a basketball team, then it's kind of like that's like in the playoffs that wants to sit out. Like the Nets are probably like KD wants to sit out as well, or he's hurt, so he has to. So I don't know. If Kyrie can get like most of the Nets player to like agree with his standpoint, then I think like what's the point? Well, like what's the point of ruining the Nets
Well,
chances this year?
that's unimportant because the Nets don't really have a chance anyway.
But yeah, you
Well,
know what I mean. Though. It's like
speaking of the Nets, since Kyrie and Kevin Durant came to Brooklyn, it hasn't been the same. With the head coach leaving and like them not doing as good as they did last year, you think Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant is ruining the Nets?
Yeah, I think Kyrie specifically is really bad for the locker room, and half the games he's sitting in a suit on the sidelines. He's not even playing. And if it was Kevin Durant, I just don't understand why he didn't go to New York. If he's Kevin Durant and he wants the legacy move,
Or go back
he
to
should go to the Knicks, the team that people really care about in New York. But Brooklyn had a good season or whatever. But the thing about them was they were deep. They just had 12 guys who could play basketball, like as deep as Jared Dudley when they played the Sixers in the playoffs. That was their thing. They weren't really star ball like they are now.
And I like how the Nets build their team. Like they got like players that they thought were bust, like DeAndre Russells, or like second round players or late first round players. Not like they had no lottery picks for like 5 years, and they made it work out. So and how I feel like if they would have kept DeAndre Russell, they would have a bad team because that's a young team that they actually build, not go through free agency and pick them up and like kind of ruin the team chemistry. So yeah.
Completely.
I don't really think Kevin Durant as much as Kyrie Irving because he still hasn't played a game. So, but Kyrie, like, he's just like, his game is so much different than like all the other, like most of the other point guards in the league. Like he's just like ball hog. He just he does not know how to make his team better. He wants to be the best player on his team. So I don't know how him and Kevin Durant's going to work out next season at all.
Yeah. He always wants to be the guy. And that's the problem because he had a championship winning team in Cleveland and he wasn't content with winning because he wasn't the guy.
Yeah. So he went to Boston to try and be that guy, and he wasn't.
So how that worked out?
Yeah. So the Western Conference Coast expects a lockout the NBA coach predicts a 2021 lockout season. Do you guys think it's going to happen?
Anonymous coach?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a collective bargaining agreement coming up?
I think so. They're trying to renegotiate the CBA.
Yep. Yeah. Maybe for a little bit. I know in baseball they're gonna have a real problem because they might not play this season at all, and then they have their collective bargaining coming up next year, and so we might not have NBA or MLB. But the best thing that always comes out of these lockouts is when like LeBron goes and plays in the Drew League with like Kevin Durant. Those are always cool.
Yeah, and also with the whole China thing that went over during 2019, before the season started. Yeah, there's probably some problems with like the contracts and new salaries and stuff. Okay, so let's switch ourselves to football now. Cam Newton is still a free agent, and Colin Kaepernick are also a free agent. You think a team should give a chance to those two players?
Cam Newton certainly deserves a chance. He's a former MVP of this league. And when you look at some of the starters that have starting jobs right now, he could certainly do their job. I bet if the Patriots they're going to go with Jarrett Stidham now, but week 2, week 3, he's lost 2-3 games, they might go to Cam Newton. Or there's plenty of teams out there that need a quarterback. Jaguars are starting the season with like what's his name?
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, Gardner Minshew. So there's probably more that I'm forgetting that also need a quarterback. Colin Kaepernick, the thing we have to realize about Colin Kaepernick is in his best season, the 49ers had an all-time defense with Patrick Willis, like Alden Smith coming off as an edge rusher. There's more guys on that defense, but yeah, that was one of the all-time defenses, and the same coordinator that I think they have down in Baltimore now was his coordinator back then. So he was really a product of the system. And his last season in the NFL, when Colin Kaepernick left, he was backing up Blaine Gabbert. He was the backup to Blaine Gabbert. So let's not pretend like he's a good quarterback. And the only reason he doesn't have a job is because of his social activism, but whatever. And he got the workout last year. They gave Colin Kaepernick the workout last year, and he blows it off and goes to some random high school. Like, he probably makes more money right now.
That's true. For all the Nike endorsements and stuff with his social activism, like he can, and also he also had a chance to play for the XFL too if he wanted to play football again. But
he definitely could.
Yeah,
easily. I think Cam Newton definitely deserves a chance.
Yeah,
because he went to the Super Bowl like, what was it, 4 seasons ago?
Super Bowl 50 where the Broncos beat them.
And he didn't jump on the ball.
Yeah, okay, but he was still an MVP. Went to the Super Bowl. He's a good quarterback. He just had. I'm pretty sure he got hurt last season. That's why. What's his name? Kyle Allen stepped in.
Yep.
So.
And it's not like Colin Kaepernick who went to the Super Bowl with a really good team. Like, yeah, the Panthers were a really good team that year, but Cam Newton was the MVP of the league.
Yeah.
The Broncos had a better team.
Yeah, that Broncos team is exceptional because Peyton Manning was so bad his last year.
Yes. I remember
he literally couldn't feel in his right hand.
I remember one season, one part of the season, you had Brock Osweiler starting over Peyton Manning for majority of the season until Peyton Manning finally got the starting spot back, and then we went on to win the Super Bowl. Hold up that Barry Trophy. Now it's been 4 years since that happened.
That defense is still legit. I watched the Broncos game last season, and they had Case Keenum starting, and they could not move the ball an inch, but they lost by 17-10 or something like that. But it was horrendous, their offense.
Yeah, and then when I hate when Joe Flacco became the starting quarterback because that just made the situation worse. But when Drew Lock came in, that was great. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Jamal Adams requests a trade because, he wants to become the biggest paying safety of all time. You think they're going to trade him or will they give him the money?
Micey?
I think they're going to have to. I mean, I don't think he wants to stay in New York. I don't think he wants to stay with the Jets. So I think he's going to get traded to one of the teams, and then they're going to have to deal with the giant salary that should it's deserved, obviously, but I don't really know if he deserves to be the highest paid corner safety. I mean, geez, yet in his career so early. But he's so good.
He is really good, and he's young too, so he might deserve it. And if I were the Jets, I might pay him. It's always if you want to pay a safety that kind of money because you have so many positions to worry about, especially safeties get less important every year. There's no more Brian Dawkins where it makes you scared to go over the middle. They can't even hit guys anymore. But I saw the Eagles were on his trade list. I'd love that to happen. I don't know the logistics, but
Eagles, Cowboys, Ravens, 49ers.
Plenty of good teams,
Yeah, he picked all the good, decent teams.
The Eagles are a decent team,
but I think the Jets.
Notice how he didn't pick the Broncos though.
The Jets are going to be on the come up soon. I think Sam Darnold is legit, but they just got off to such a bad start last season because he had the mono.
And he saw the ghosts too. Ooh.
Yeah, at that point in that season, that Patriots defense was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the next topic. So, as you guys know, there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks fighting for the starting spot. So, let's go right here and see who's going to start for their team? The first team up next, I'm pretty sure when this loads up, is the Dallas Cowboys. Who's going to start? Dak Prescott or Andy Dalton?
It depends. Can they get Dak Prescott signed? Because he's he's asking for way too much. He gets a contract that'll pay him $35 million a year, make him the highest paid quarterback in NFL history, and he won't take it because I don't know what he thinks about himself, but he had 30 touchdowns last year, 14 against the Redskins and Giants. He's way overrated. His agent is misleading him. He's got to take this contract because it's better than anything he can get. But you know what he's doing is he's already getting ready for Mahomes because Mahomes is going to make $50 million. So $35 million is going to look like nothing in 1 year.
Yeah.
But it'll be Dak. They're going to sign him.
If Dak doesn't hold out because of not getting paid, I think he'll start because he's just like he's younger, he's more talented than Andy Dalton at this point, I'd say, in his career because Andy Dalton's getting older and I think he's like good for the backup job now, like later in his career instead of starting.
And if you sign Dak to $40 million, then you're not going to sit him on the bench.
Exactly.
But if you're an Eagles fan, you got to hope that they sign him for $40 million because they'll be done forever. Forever. They won't be competitive ever again.
I feel like the only way Andy Dalton can start if like Dak doesn't like Dak start to sit out and like pull out
they
for
his franchise tagging him or whatever.
So for the next team we got the Carolina Panthers. PJ Walker from the XFL or Teddy Bridgewater. Who's gonna start?
Well, Teddy Bridgewater because they just signed him to a nice big contract, but I wouldn't be too thrilled about it if I was a Panthers fan. Yeah, Teddy was nice when he had the Saints roster, one of the best rosters in the NFL, but we'll see when he has the lowly Panthers roster.
Yeah. I'm excited about.
Panthers are not really a good team.
He's going to have to put up 35 points a game just to be competitive. That defense is horrendous.
Oh, yeah, and they lost Luke Kuechly. Oh, my God.
And Greg Olsen left for the Seahawks.
Yeah, they're just falling apart even more.
And then Christian McCaffrey's the only bright side of the whole entire team.
Right.
And the only thing people know about PJ Walker, he came from the XFL. I think he was like great college players, and like you guys saw like highlights and stuff how he got like sacked like 5 times and still threw the touchdown. So that's the only thing everybody knows. He was like the only good player in the XFL. That's the only reason why people know about PJ Walker.
Yeah,
but Teddy Bridgewater has this team, has the team. This is his team, and I'm pretty sure I heard a lot of Panthers fans really excited for Teddy Bridgewater. But he's also a little injury prone too, as you guys see with like the torn ACL when he was out for the whole entire year.
So he was out for a while after that. Oh my.
Yeah, that set him back a little bit. He was gonna be the guy. Yeah, I don't know. If I was in Carolina too, maybe I'd be excited with any new quarterback coming in, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. Especially not with this roster, you know. He can do what he can do so much, but.
Yeah, and we can see what he learned under Drew Brees. So up next, we got the Indianapolis Colts. They just signed Philip Rivers, but they also had their other starting quarterback, Jacoby Brissett. So he's going to start Philip Rivers or Jacoby Brissett.
Philip Rivers is really, really bad, and we saw that last season. It looks like it's hard for him to throw a deep ball now. I think they're going to start Philip Rivers just because they weren't content with they had a good team last year, and they weren't content with how far they made it. The one thing about Philip Rivers is he's going to have like the at the line of scrimmage, the changing up plays and stuff, the awareness that Jacoby Brissett might not have.
Yeah, I feel like Philip Rivers won't do as good. Like probably like week 3, that when they're gonna start starting Jacoby Brissett because Philip Rivers is not good, as you guys see.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, I've been watching a lot of Broncos versus Chargers game since the Chargers are in the Broncos division, and Phillip Rivers is not good at all. So, yeah.
Yeah, but now they have Justin Herbert, and you're done.
Yeah.
No.
Big hands.
Yeah.
No, I think Jacoby Brissett's gonna start because he knows all the plays and the playbook so far. I know it's not that hard to learn if you're a professional quarterback and stuff, but like I think he already knows the roster more than Phillip Rivers, and he should because he's been there for a while. So I think he'll start for a little bit, and then if he doesn't have great games, I think Phillip Rivers will come in and then start and then take his starting spot.
Yeah.
Okay. Next team, the Miami Dolphins. We got Tua or Ryan Fitzpatrick. Who's gonna start?
I would probably start Tua. No. You know what? I might start Ryan Fitzpatrick because if you got a young guy coming in, you don't want him to get destroyed like his first 2 games because, it's so important for confidence. But if Ryan Fitzpatrick loses a game, then at the start of the season, they're going to be calling for Tua already. So it's a very tough situation.
Ryan Fitzpatrick always seems to have these runs somehow. Remember versus the season that the Eagles won the Super Bowl. He had like a run in the beginning of the season. Just like didn't he go like 4-0 or 3-1 or something?
With Buccaneers?
Yeah.
Fitzmagic?
Fitzmagic.
He was on fire.
He was on fire. And then they sat him for Jameis Winston. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think they'll start Ryan Fitzpatrick for a few games, just like the Colts. And if he's not playing well, they'll put in Tua.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to put Ryan Fitzpatrick just because, Tua is still coming off that injury from college. So, set him out for a while so he, won't get hurt earlier in his career. So, and then they can eventually start Tua, probably mid-season through or week 5, week 4.
That's the best thing for quarterbacks if they can sit a year in the NFL before they play because look at Patrick Mahomes, sat a whole year. Aaron Rodgers sat 3 years. So, and if you rush them in too much, there's plenty of cases where you rush them in too much and then they're busts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next team, the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert or Tyrod Taylor? Who's going to start?
Oh, sadly, I think they might start Tyrod Taylor, but Justin Herbert is the guy. 6'6", big hands, 10.5-inch hands, I think they were. He's fast. He throws a crazy deep ball. And, Tyrod Taylor can do the job too. That roster is actually stacked when you look at it. Two good wide receivers, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Your defense is stacked. You got the safety coming back off injury. I forget his name. You got Joey Bosa on the line. Derwin James.
What's the linebacker's name? It's like
they don't have Gordon, but
yeah. Well, running backs come and go, and they have Austin Eckler. The expiration date on running backs is really is quick.
I think they start Justin Herbert, honestly.
This is such a tough one.
I don't know why, but just get a young guy in. Joe Burrow's gonna start for the Bengals. Tua, I said Ryan Fitzpatrick would start over him for a few games. If he plays bad, then Tua comes in. But then Justin Herbert, I feel like will start over Tyrod Taylor because Tyrod Taylor's always been a backup guy, except for the Buffalo Bills that one season, maybe. But I think Justin Herbert will start.
I feel like Tyrod Taylor's going to start because it's good to sell out the young guys for a couple of games or maybe a whole entire season, like Get said, but he probably going to come in week 4, week 5 and take over the starting job. If the only way he can start the beginning of the season if he does good in the preseason, but that's a big if.
I think it's kind of dumb for coaches to think the way that's oh, we'll take Ryan Fitzpatrick or Tyrod Taylor for the first 4 games, and then once we're 1-3, we'll put in the other guy. You're already 1-3, then your season's partially over, a fourth of the way over, and you have 3 losses. So
Yeah.
maybe just take the risk and put the guy in. But on the other hand, I also said for Tua, maybe just
Also, Tyrone Taylor is a good quarterback too, as you guys saw with the Bills team a couple years ago.
Wasn't
Yeah,
that not his
couple.
first position? Like that's like his secondary position. I'm pretty sure he came in as a wide receiver or something.
Yeah. So next team, the Chicago Bears. Who get the starting spot? Mitchell Trubisky or Nick Foles?
Got to be Nick Foles. Mitch Trubisky's such a disappointment, and he can't make a pass. And Nick Foles has shown that when he's in the right system, he's actually a pretty good quarterback. I'd love to see him get a chance.
He has not been in the right system since, like, the Eagles. Every other team he's gone to, LA, the Chiefs, he's dog. He's just garbage. And then last year with Jacksonville, got hurt, comes back, and he's even worse than the first game of the season. I just don't understand. But he was only good with the Eagles. I think they'll start Trubisky, even though he's god awful as well.
I don't think if you get Nick Foles, Nick Foles has got a pretty healthy contract. I don't think you're going to be like, oh, Mitch is still going to start. We got this guy as a backup.
Yeah.
And Mitch is coming up in a contract year because he's in the same draft class as Patrick Mahomes. So.
And they drafted Mitchell Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes.
Bears could have been so good if they had Patrick Mahomes. That defense is already insane. Think about that.
Who knows if Patrick Mahomes is the same guy if he plays for Matt Nagy and not Andy Reid?
True, Andy Reid. Andy Reid does play a bigger factor.
And like Mitchell Trubisky did have that one season when they made the playoffs, but they went against the Eagles, and what happened for the field goal kick.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. They should have won. Mitch Trubisky would have a playoff win.
That was a defensive game the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think Mitch Trubisky will start because I feel like Nick Foles doesn't fit probably in the Bears system. Only system he fits in is the Eagles, as you guys saw before, win Super Bowl and that one playoff run the year after. So only way Nick Foles will start if he's actually in a good system, but I think this is Trubisky's team for now until they get a better quarterback.
I think Matt Nagy's got to study that playoff run and the plays that Doug Peterson did that made him successful.
Yeah. So next team, I think this is the last team. Yeah, last team, the Las Vegas Raiders. Who's going to start, Marcus Mariota or Derek Carr?
If I was a Raiders fan, I wouldn't be happy for either one of them. I hope they both lose.
Free agent Cam Newton.
Yeah, free agent.
Trick question.
Why would they get Mariota? There's Cam Newton available, or I don't know if he was at the time, but like.
He wasn't at the time, but.
I don't know. Neither one of those guys excite me. There's gonna be another terrible season for them.
Mm-hmm. And easy wins for the Broncos too. I feel like.
It should be.
I feel like Derek Carr is probably going to beat Mariota. Like, Mariota only had that one good season with the Titans, and then he lost his starting job to a backup QB, Ryan Tannehill, that just went off. So, yeah, that's basically, I think Derek Carr is just going to win the starting spot. Marcus Mariota, he's not good at all.
I think Mariota is going to beat Derek Carr. Derek Carr is I think it's the most interceptions through his first, 5 seasons or something. And you know who was second? His brother.
No.
So I think Mariota is
his brother always talks heavy on sports shows and Twitter, like he knows what he's talking about. Like, dude, you were a historic NFL bust.
Like you led interceptions in your first 5 seasons of your career until last year when Derek Carr just beat you.
Because
he's even worse.
That record is a testament to how many interceptions you throw, but also your ability to keep the starting job somehow.
Right. No. I think Mariota will start because he's they'll give him another chance since he's what's the word? He's better than Derek Carr. I think.
What's the word? Better?
Yeah. I have no clue. But
So, next thing I got is you got, there's a lot of young QBs who are going to take the starting spot or probably not going to take the starting spot. And some people think they're going to be their new franchise quarterbacks. So, I got 15 QBs. I don't have, the obvious one like Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson and them. But I have, the other QBs that people think they're going to be up next. So, I want to see you guys' opinions. So, the first QB is Mitchell Trubisky.
Nope, not it. Not your franchise quarterback. Don't re-sign him to anything long. And, yeah, I don't know. That guy just never had a chance. He started 1 year in college. Even when you look at the draft, even when they drafted him, it was a little bit suspicious. Because University of North Carolina, not known for their football, he didn't start until his senior year.
Trubisky's not it.
Not it.
No. He had a good season because he had the best defense in the league in 2018. Couldn't hold Nick Foles though. Then last year he had a pretty the same guys on defense. He may have lost. I think he lost one cornerback. I forget who.
Yeah, I feel like the Bears made a mistake of not drafting Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson, but
The Deshaun Watson certainly, because Patrick Mahomes now could go be successful anywhere, but the system that he grew up in his NFL career was good for him. But Deshaun Watson would have been great for their team.
I feel like the whole entire franchise just made a mistake, and the reason why they keep him right now because they don't want to admit they made a mistake. So,
Yeah.
Next QB, Joe Burrow.
Oh, how am I supposed to know? He hasn't played the game yet. I'll say it'll work. The team's not terrible. The team's not gosh awful, but
their record isn't a match of their team.
Yeah, they have some guys.
They have a few guys. They still have Geno Atkins. They have AJ Green, who was hurt all last season. They have what's his name? Joe Mixon, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Joe Mixon, running back.
And they just drafted T. Higgins too.
Their draft was so good every single round.
I think he'll be good for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how long.
They're probably not going to make the playoffs the first year, but
yeah, they'll improve though.
Yeah, they'll improve
over
lot.
Time.
Yeah, and if you look at Peyton Manning's first season, he didn't have a good rookie year. He broke rookie year interceptions record or something. But they didn't give up on him, so you gotta give him a chance. Gotta give Burrow a chance.
Okay, next QB, Gardner Minshew.
Not it. If I had to say right now, he's more of a Ryan Fitzpatrick type meme. Cool guy and everything, but
yeah.
I don't know why people just went insane for him because probably he had one good game and he's just NFL meme like Ryan Fitzpatrick
Exactly.
said. I don't get it at all, but yeah. I feel like they need to draft a QB next year. That's good. Maybe they tank so bad to get Trevor Lawrence. Tank for Trevor.
Oh, they're gonna be terrible next year. They're gonna be terrible
because they got rid of everybody on their team. Every good player they have, and even Leonard Fournette wants to leave too. So we gotta find a trade for him too.
Eagles, Philly.
Tank for Trevor. That wouldn't be bad.
No, that'd definitely be their best option. Gardner Minshew, they like him. They like him because of his what's it like a bar handle mustache or something?
Yeah, I don't know, but
I have no clue. It's like Ryan Fitzpatrick and his giant beard that can touch his wang.
Okay, next QB, Baker Mayfield.
Not it. We saw last year, his first year was kind of a fluke. I don't think this guy's it because, you have Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry on the outsides. I think you should be a lot more successful than you were. And I think the thing that hurt him was he lost David Njoku, and that was like his little check down guy. Oh, let me just throw to my big tight end, 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, or whatever. And he feels pressure like he has a bad pocket presence. Like he always just wants to go. He's like, I got to get out of here.
Rolls out to the right side every time.
Yep.
Like, whoop. So the defense just rushes right.
And his opponents know it too.
Yeah. He's definitely not it. He has two of the best receivers in the league, I'd say. I mean, not best of the best, like Julio Jones and DeAndre Hopkins and Michael Thomas. I don't even know if Michael Thomas is best of the best. But anyways, Odell and Jarvis Landry, they're good receivers. They have great hands. David Njoku, he's a good tight end. They should be better than going 5-11, 6-10. I don't like three good talented receivers and tight ends. With a good who's the running back again? Was it I'm trying to think.
Oh my gosh, they had like the best running back in the league.
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb, right. Yeah.
So obviously their offensive line
Their
wasn't
offense.
too bad if Nick Chubb rushes for over 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
God.
But with them drafting an offensive lineman this year, let's see how this will improve. Baker
And a new head coach.
Mhm.
So give him a chance, but
Like
I don't think
I feel
he's
like this
going
is a season like he has to prove that he's their franchise QB.
Oh yeah, he has to, or they're drafting.
Or they would just tank for Trevor like everybody else. But I'm a huge Oklahoma State fan, and as seeing Baker Mayfield playing against Oklahoma State all the time, I just never liked him. And I knew he wasn't going to be a good QB at all. But this next guy, I think he will be a great QB, and that's
I'm guessing Drew Lock.
no Mason Rudolph.
Oh,
What? What did you see last year from Mason Rudolph that made you think he was going to be a good quarterback?
No,
Miles Garrett go boom. That knocked some sense into him.
I feel like Mason Rudolph, as I saw him Oklahoma State, he's a good QB. He probably
Oh, he played for Oklahoma State. Okay, that's why. Yeah.
Go ahead, Manny.
I feel like a couple of seasons underneath Bing Roethlisberger, he'll be a good QB when Roethlisberger eventually retire. He'll be that QB will start.
I don't disagree actually with that. Like I think if he learns how to run with the Steelers offense, I think he'll be better than everyone saw from him last year. Just not like great, but like he'd be a good quarterback for to maybe make the playoffs because they almost did it last year and they started the season 0-4.
With him and Duck Hodges. And so
exactly.
That shows how good that Steelers defense is.
Yeah.
Like with Minka Fitzpatrick. That
TJ
team is,
Watt,
Yep.
Minka Fitzpatrick. Oh my God.
Was legendary.
Wait till you get Ben
that
Roethlisberger back.
Exactly.
So next quarterback, Sam Darnold.
He's gonna be it. I'm ready for it. I think he played pretty well. I mean, everyone's gonna talk about the seeing ghosts game, but he comes back from mono. They're like 1-4, and what they finished the season? Respectable. They were like the 11th pick in the draft, I think.
I think they may have been. They're higher. The Dolphins were 5-11. I think they were like 6 and.
Yeah, when he came in, they were like 1-4. So. And that's a good roster, and they just drafted another offensive lineman. So watch the Jets be good this year. And
they were
hold on
7-9 last year.
They were what?
7-9 last year.
So that's basically like
that's
comes in and goes 6-5 in
Because
11 games.
Yeah, I think Sam Darnold can be up next. Like if he takes probably this season, he probably not have a breakout season, but shows improvement over the years. I know he's not the best QB in his whole draft class, as you guys saw with Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, but he's not the worst QB like Baker Mayfield and Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen.
I think Getz has never been wrong on his takes with some players. He's gotten I've always argued with him, and he's like, no, this guy's it. So I'd say I'd go with Getz honestly on this one because
I would.
He didn't really have like a chance to prove himself. He had a little bit of a season last year, but it was like
The season that he did have, coming back
it
from
was
mono, he went like
yeah.
6-5, if my math is correct, if I remember them. Come back at like 1-4 or 0-4 even.
But at least he's like not the worst QB in the whole entire draft because we got Baker Mayfield and Josh Rosen, but he's not the best QB like Lamar and Josh Allen, but he's right there with Mason Rudolph in the middle. So yeah. So next QB, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He's gonna own that division for the next 10 years.
Like I said, like in an earlier podcast, the Bills are making the Super Bowl this year. I am calling. They have a great team. This adds Stephon Diggs.
Dude, I said AFC Championship for them. They're good. They're so good.
Yep.
Honestly, Josh Allen, he's up next. He's doing some things. You saw him with the Texans, how he showed, even though they blew the lead, but how he showed out there, and he's only in his second year. He's not as good as Lamar Jackson, but like he's a good QB. I feel like the Bills.
Let's calm down on Lamar Jackson. One good season, or I guess 1.5 after he came in from Joe Flacco, but it's kind of a system quarterback, and no playoff wins 2 years in a row now. So I could honestly take Josh Allen before Lamar Jackson. It just depends on what my team is, because if you're in Buffalo, Josh Allen is the perfect quarterback for Buffalo. It's freezing cold. You need a strong guy like Josh Allen, who comes from the country in Wyoming. So, and wait till that playoff atmosphere comes. They got some of the best fans in the NFL, and it's going to be freezing.
And they play in Buffalo. Like when it starts snowing, that's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
And with Brady out of the division, it's like they have that for so long. I'd say.
I'm saying Bills and Super Bowl, maybe Super Bowl champs, but
maybe Super Bowl champs.
Okay, Dwayne Haskins Jr.
No.
I might just be partial because he was my Madden quarterback in the franchise, and he turned out really good. I'm just saying, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, you saw in the draft, they did draft like Tua and Justin Herbert, so they seem like they still believe in Dwayne Haskins. I still believe in Dwayne Haskins. He probably can be a good QB, not like a great QB, but a good QB.
Dwayne Haskins is the reason that Joe Burrow had to leave Ohio State, because Dwayne Haskins put up one of the best, what's that football conference called? Like Big Ten seasons of all time.
Yeah.
But that being said, his mechanics are a little gimmicky. His mechanics aren't good at all. But I'd give him a chance like the Redskins did. So I'm glad they didn't draft another quarterback.
Yeah. Okay, next QB, Tua.
Gosh, he's so injury prone. I really could not tell you how, what I think of him.
He's also a small guy. He could be like the next Russell Wilson, kind of. You know, he's got like he's got the similar build and everything, but
are the wheels there for him?
No, not as much. But if he can stay on the field, he's good. But
yeah, I feel like if he stays healthy, he'll be good.
Does he have an NFL body? He is like Russell Wilson's size, but
But is he Russell Wilson's like
toughness? Russell Wilson has a terrible offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just Russell Wilson is so shifty.
Mm-hmm. And he's smart up here too.
He can just escape. He knows everything.
I feel like they should just sit to it for like a year, just to get him fully healthy, and then the year after, maybe have like a Patrick Mahomes season the year after. So yeah,
could happen.
Okay, next QB, Justin Herbert.
This guy's the real deal. He's 6'6", big hands. He can hold on to that football. He can throw the deep ball again, and he's got wheels, like I said. And if you watch the Rose Bowl last year, Oregon versus I think it was Wisconsin, he he was so clutch and he killed it and he had like 3 rushing touchdowns. So I think this guy's built for the NFL.
Yeah. I feel like he'll be good. Like maybe start him like a couple games. Like don't start him a couple. Like send him out for a couple games in like week 4, week 5. Start him, and I think he'll have a great rookie year.
He also looks the part, you know.
Mm-hmm.
For Los Angeles, he's got the nice flow. He's gonna be a star.
Yeah.
I think he'll be. I'll think he'll be good enough.
And he's got the right situation.
He'll be
A lot of these things are about coming into the right situation, you know. For plenty of years, it was if you get drafted to the Cleveland Browns, you're going to die. Like, that'll be the end of your career and you will never come back.
Baker Mayfield.
So he's got a great situation here because a good team underperformed and was able to grab him.
Uh-huh. Okay, Jarrett Stidham.
I think he's got a shot. He sat a year under the greatest quarterback of all time. Obviously, Belichick sees something in him that he likes.
Yeah. I feel like there's a reason why they didn't sign Cam Newton or Colin Kaepernick because well, they believe in Jarrett Stidham for some reason. Like, they didn't draft a quarterback that whole entire draft. They drafted like not quarterback. They drafted some player from like Division 2, Division 3.
They had a bad draft.
Yeah.
They drafted the safety out of Lenore Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
D2.
Bill Belichick can't just put all of his marbles into Jared Stidham. He needs I think he needs I'm not gonna coach Bill Belichick right here, but I think he would need just one guy, like either Cam Newton or Colin Kaepernick. I'd say Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Because better locker. He's not as much of a locker room issue as Kaepernick.
But Cam Newton will be there week 2, week 3,
and help him get better.
No, but I'm saying if Jared Stidham doesn't do well, Cam Newton will be there to pick up or whatnot.
If he was there, he'd help him progress as a quarterback.
I think the reason they're not gonna sign Cam Newton right now is because if you're Jared Stidham and you're looking over your shoulder and there's Cam Newton ready to take you out whenever you make a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like maybe Bill Belichick sees something in Jarrett Stidham that we all didn't see, and maybe he become the next Tom Brady underneath. We'll see is it Tom Brady is a good quarterback or is Bill Belichick is a great coach. We'll just see what happens next season.
I think even if Tom Brady underperforms in Tampa, it's not really going to take away from his legacy because it's his year 43 season.
Yeah. And I feel like Tom Brady probably has maybe 2 years left. And he probably won't do as good because, he is 43 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I think Jarrett Stidham might be up next if Bill Belichick since Bill Belichick's a great coach.
It's just this Patriots roster isn't that good either. At the beginning of the season last year, you had the Josh Gordon, Antonio Brown wide receiver core. Mm-hmm. And by the end of the season, you ended up with Julian Edelman, who had the most drops in the league, and then N'Keal Harry. And
he's going to be good.
Yeah, I think Tom Brady was just done with this situation there because he sees Stephon Diggs get traded to the Bills in their division, and he's like, Belichick, why couldn't you have gotten Stephon Diggs? I need weapons here. And the defense was good, but towards the end of the season, it just completely faded.
Now he sees Mike Evans, what's his name?
Goodwin.
Brashad Perryman. So, and Gronk also. Oh my God, I forgot they got
Gronk, OJ Howard. They're gonna run double tight end sets. Tom Brady loves that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So next QB, Teddy Bridgewater.
I'll say he's gonna bust. I don't think he'll have a good season. Might not necessarily be his fault, but coming into the Panthers, bad roster, first year head coach. And they might be looking to tank.
Tank for Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just a replacement quarterback for Cam Newton and Kyle Allen this season. Teddy Bridgewater is good for that, and tank for Trevor Lawrence and build
Yeah.
off of next year's draft.
I think you would have gotten rid of Cam Newton if you think, oh, we're not competing next year. If you want to compete next year, you probably keep Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Well, I have a friend who's a Panthers fan. I don't know why, but he's crazy. But he thinks that Teddy Bridgewater might be their franchise QB. But I gotta disagree with him. He's not going to be the franchise QB.
Yeah, that sounds like the delusional fan base.
Yeah, like the Eagles fan base.
How old
That's
is Teddy
just-
Bridgewater? I don't know.
26.
Is he? He's young, man.
Hey Siri, how old is Teddy Bridgewater?
27.
27.
Okay, I thought he was older than he was, but
Yeah, it seems like he's been around forever.
yeah. I don't know. Then I think I still think bad season because he's with the Panthers.
Yeah.
That division's even better now because they got Brady. They have Drew Brees to go against, and the Falcons were 1-9, and they ended the season 7-9. So they went on like a 6-game win streak late.
Yeah.
They just couldn't get it together at the beginning of the season. I don't know why. I don't know what changed in the second half, but
No, I just realized the Falcons and the Bucks are in the same division. Tom Brady versus the Falcons. That's gonna be something to watch. 28-3.
Yeah, the Buccaneers have so many nationally televised games next year because everyone they play, it's like the best game of the week.
yeah.
Let's see they don't underperform. Because I remember last year, when they got when Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb, Odell Beckham Jr. Everybody thought the Browns were up next. They're gonna win the Super Bowl. Like everybody thought. And then like the first game, they lost to Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans. Got blown out by them. And then after that, like everybody just didn't believe in the Browns. Like the Browns was like the most hype up team, and they just blew it.
The thing was, everybody knew that their head coach, I forget his name now,
Freddie
but
Kitchens.
Right?
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
who even is this guy? What are his qualifications? What does he know about football? It was just,
So just throw me in.
Who thought that was gonna
I'll
work?
make some playbooks.
I could have brought the Ask Madden and probably done better than him.
Suggestive added plays.
Okay, Jameis Winston.
He'll
He's
be
with the
backing
Saints
up
now,
next
right?
year. And then after that, it might be his team.
I feel like the reason why they signed Jameis Winston, like just to have a good backup quarterback, because I feel like they still believe in, I forgot his name, but like
Drew Brees, Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill. I think they believe in Taysom Hill when Drew Brees retires. Taysom Hill's just going to be their franchise QB over there, but
Yeah, I
feel
think he'd.
I don't think Taysom Hill's a quarterback at all. I don't know what he does, but he's like a gimmick player, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's what Jalen Hurts is going to be next year in the
Yeah, but
Eagles.
Jalen Hurts is a second-round draft pick, which can really help your team. But
when
Taysom Hill was an undrafted free agent who they took like a chance on, and they're like, maybe we could do this.
It's going to be hard to help our team now that Brandon Brooks is gone from the right side of the line for the rest of the season.
But I feel like Jameis Winston can be the next QB. He is Mr. 30 for 30. Like, if you can get rid of the interceptions, like he did throw for over 5,000 yards last year too. So he shows that he can be the QB of a franchise. So
Yeah, there are some games you look at his stats, you're like, wow, he threw for 500 yards. And then you also see it and you're like, wow, he threw 3 touchdowns. And then you see, wow, he threw for 5 interceptions. It's like kind of can't.
3 of them were ran back for touchdowns.
Right, yeah. He threw 3 pick sixes and 5 interceptions.
I feel like under Drew Brees, he can probably learn to not throw as many interceptions as he did like when he was on the Bucs.
I don't know. Sean Payton might be better for him than who was it?
I don't know.
Was it Bruce Arians or?
Yeah, Bruce Arians.
Yeah, Bruce Arians.
Yeah. So, final QB. Probably the greatest QB on this whole entire list. Drew Lock.
The sample size is so small for him.
He'll be
I
good.
know you're a Broncos fan and everything, but we got to see it play out. And What teams did they play at the end of the season last year when he went on his
They
low run?
play the Texans, the Titans, and I think the Texans, Titans again. Remember, they lost to the Titans once, beat the Texans, and beat the Titans. I think they beat the Chargers and the Raiders. So he won a 4-1. He ended the season with 4-1. So that shows potential. Shows really great potential. He beat the Texans and the Titans. I'm just saying.
You know what else is good for him is they just drafted Jerry Jeudy and who else? They got another wide receiver, didn't they?
Oh yeah, KJ Hamler.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They had a really good draft, and their defense is still, that defense.
Mm-hmm. So defense I feel like Drew Lock is going to have a breakout season. Like
MVP of the league?
No.
Maybe.
No. He'll be good.
I wonder what those odds are. I should probably get in on those odds right now.
Like, if I was a betting man, I'll bet this kid to be a breakout quarterback. He will have an amazing season next year. Maybe might lead us to the wild card and maybe upset the Chiefs. I'm just saying that.
Okay, calm down.
Manny,
First of all, the Chiefs aren't going to be playing the wild card.
Might win the division. We might win the division. I'm just saying.
Manny, you're not going to win the division. There's two teams that are better than yours.
Yeah. When you look at the rosters.
But I'll say just to make you happy, I think he'll be a good franchise quarterback for the Broncos.
So, last thing we have right here, with the WNBA officially coming back, there's only like one main league that's haven't came back, and that's the MLB. And they're still discussing like when they should come back with the whole tie contracts and stuff. The players and everything else. So when do you think the MLB will come back, or do you think they won't play at all this season?
I think if like the Phillies, they just said some of the players who they thought they had coronavirus, and it was like some notable guys, or like 3 or 4 notable guys, and then one bullpen pitcher that I dislike anyways, but I'm not gonna say who.
Wait, which one was it? Because there was Nick Pivetta and there was Ranger Suarez.
Yeah, you could guess which one I don't like. He's a left-handed pitcher. His name is Ranger Suarez.
Oh, okay.
He sucks.
Yeah.
But I think if more players just keep coming out and just that was the first case in MLB, wasn't it? Like the Phillies.
I don't know, but
it was
Clearwater was a while ago, so yeah. I don't know.
It was three people from first 3 coaches from the Phillies. It was 5 players, and I think if it keeps getting worse, like they won't start it on time. They were supposed to be starting soon, according to I don't know what, but they're supposed to be starting like early July. So if it just gets worse, I don't think they'll have it at all, because it's such a small season. It's
so sad.
I feel like baseball
that this has to hit right in Bryce Harper's prime. And then we have the collective bargaining agreement next year. And it's the thing is, the owners are so stubborn right now. Like, they're trying to negotiate players down from their actual salary because, obviously they're not making ticket revenue, but like they're still taking the same risk in injuries. Like Andrew McCutchen could tear an ACL again in a freak play like that. I don't think they will play because it's getting a little too late. I mean, the other leagues haven't even started yet either. But
yeah.
How many MLB games could you play? Where are you going to play them? Are you going to travel? Are you going to have like one stadium like all the other leagues are doing?
That'd be so hard.
60-something games.
That'd be so. Oof.
Yeah.
They'd have to open like 3 or 4 stadiums, and it's like 3-hour baseball games. So like.
I don't know what's happening.
I think they'll just cancel it after all.
Kareem
ABL.
They got it figured out. Maybe they should ask them, but they only have 10 teams in their league, so.
Go Dinos.
So I just feel like, baseball is just a dying sport to me. Like no one really like to watch. Like the only way you can like watch baseball if you're at the game. You can like watch it on TV.
Hey, some people are like that. It's
I think baseball is not a dying sport when you get in the right situations. Like when you had the Bryce Harper effect come to town here last season. Like when you have
I
a
don't think
bad
it's
team,
dying at all.
yeah, when you have a bad team, like people aren't going to show up. But like, so there's a lot of bad teams in baseball. But when you have Bryce Harper come to town and he sells so many tickets last year, like we averaged like 30,000 a game last year, so that was pretty legit.
Yeah.
And like the Sixers get 20,000 fans a game because that's what their stadium holds. But do you think if they had a 44,000 seat stadium like the Phillies that they would get sellouts every night?
No.
They just have a lot more seats to fill.
Sixers are
Yeah.
great, so. And so I think that's pretty much where we all have for this episode on Don Tessa Pod. Like we said before, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn the notification on, comment down below. And so comment down below like what you guys' thoughts on, so like guests can argue with you and debate with you, because he really wants those debates.
I will prove you wrong. Come at me with one of my hot takes. But you will probably lose. So.
And then if you guys watching from Apple Podcasts, make sure you guys subscribe to us right there and give us 5 stars. That'd be nice. And if you guys are listening from Spotify, make sure you guys follow us right there. And if you guys want to give us some messages, go on the Anchor app and look up Don Tessa Pod, or the Anchor website, look up Don Tessa Pod, and give us a voice message so we can react to it in the next podcast. And you guys got anything else to say?
I think you covered it.
Okay. And we see you guys later, and Drew Lock will be up next.